We're investigating one of the fastest growing healthcare treatments in the world, homeopathy, a practice invented 200 years ago with questionable science behind it. To find out firsthand how homeopaths practice, we meet Vancouver homeopath Elle Chiquetto. She treats Denise Hodson and her son, who we met earlier.
Homeopathic treatment is very individualized in the way that homeopaths find and choose a good remedy for someone.
A patient's first visit with Chiquetto will cost about $200. She'll spend 2 hours taking a full health history. So say someone like me comes in and I've got a sore back. How would you help me?
There's tons of different ways that you can experience pain, right?
Even critics say this part of homeopathy may have some value, spending time with a patient. As for the actual remedies, Chiquetto is confident they work. But you just can't explain exactly how.
Not exactly, no. Personally, I just use them.
And what does she use them for?
That one's very well known to help with trauma or when someone's in shock.
Cardus, what's that for?
That one's a good remedy known to help for any pains from a toxic liver.
And her toolkit's not just for aches and pains. Some of it's supposed treatments for whooping cough, measles, and listen to this. What's that for?
So that one is the remedy that's in here is called Lathyrus. It's the remedy that's most matched for symptoms that may come along with polio.
So this is to prevent polio in kids instead of a regular vaccine?
Possibly, yeah, if that's what people have chosen.
You'd be comfortable giving a child that?
Yes.
To prevent polio?
Yeah.
But Dr. Stephen Sager, who studied alternative medicines, isn't buying any of it. Some homeopaths are giving out homeopathic vaccines and claiming they're as effective as conventional vaccines.
I think we're dealing with a very highly dangerous situation where somebody can think they're protected, but they're not. There's absolutely no evidence that it's effective in treating these very serious diseases at all. You could well see these diseases emerging as an epidemic again with very serious consequences.
He's talking about children like Blake Hodson. You're not vaccinating your child for polio, for measles?
Well, he is vaccinated for polio and measles, just not
with homeopathic medicines. Yeah. But you're not using conventional vaccines?
No.
For polio?
No.
Measles, whooping cough, pertussis. Some of those are very serious diseases.
Yeah.
You think he's protected with homeopathy?
He is protected.
A medical doctor we spoke to said he thinks it's crazy when parents don't vaccinate their children conventionally, that you're taking a risk with your child giving them homeopathic medicines. What do you say to that criticism?
Well, I think to each their own. I think whatever the mother decides is their choice, and I've chosen to do it this way. I think that if people did a little more research on both sides, that they might choose differently.
Okay guys, checking in again. It's been 35 minutes. How's everyone feeling? Back with the skeptics, trying their best to OD on homeopathic medicines. All they're getting is a sugar rush. You've had 3 bottles, you feel nothing?
Yeah, I didn't take the sleeping pills, I took the belladonna and the arsenic, so normally stuff that kill you, but...
They're proving a point. There's nothing to these homeopathic medicines.
They should not be allowed to make claims that are not true. When a product is overwhelmingly water, they should not be able to say it cures cancer.
Homeopathy for cancer? Really? Sure enough, we find amazing claims on Canadian homeopath websites. Claims that diseases like breast cancer, prostate, and liver cancer can all be treated. So we call up a clinic, tell the homeopath about a friend with breast cancer.
It's stage 1 cancer, and some cells have moved into neighboring tissue. Is that still something you could help with?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That our medicines work, okay?
Okay.
Because we boost the immune system.
Okay. How quickly do you think this might work?
Maybe in 15 days, I'm thinking right now.
15 days, what?
Yeah,
what would happen?
I'm going to give some medicine. We're going to boost the immune system, and we're going to see maybe the cancer cells are dissolving or burning in the body. You don't even felt, but when they do the ultrasound and do the CT scan, they will see that, okay, cancer cells are going, right?
Within 2 weeks?
Within 2 weeks. That's what I'm telling you. First stage, in 2 weeks, we could help.
That's absolutely shocking, and it's clearly bogus. And there's absolutely no evidence to back that up whatsoever.
Dr. Stephen Sager is a leading cancer specialist who thinks there's no place for homeopathy in cancer treatment.
At the very best, I think it's sad, and at the worst, I think it's a total scam. A delay in visiting a conventional evidence-based cancer centre is a delay in treatment, and a delay in treatment can have very serious results.
We tried taking our findings to Canadian groups representing homeopaths, but most of them wouldn't talk to us on camera. The one that would, the Homeopathic Medical Council of Canada. Its president, Ranveer Sharda, sometimes hosts a call-in show to talk about homeopathy. He's practiced for 4 decades.
They have questions about homeopathy, they have questions about natural health products.
We tell him our testing reveals over-the-counter homeopathic medicines to be sugar pills, but he insists they make people better.
If you have a headache, I promise you, if you take a belladonna 4 pills, in 15 minutes your headache will go away.
But how's that possible? There's nothing in there except sugar.
So you think sugar is working? If your headache goes away, you think sugar is working?
But there is no medicine in the homeopathic
that's what you
medicines.
Say. That's what you say.
Well, that's what
medicine.
the scientists said.
No, not the scientists.
He doesn't back down when we show him unproven claims that breast cancer can be cured.
Within 2 weeks, that's what I'm telling you.
What do you think of that? She's saying she can cure first-stage breast cancer.
I can't speak about any other homeopath, but if it is the first stage or a second stage, I think homeopaths can help.
He says he's cured all kinds of cancers.
You can cure the prostate cancer.
Yeah, prostate cancer, any kind of cancer as such.
We spoke to an oncologist who says that what you're suggesting is dangerous. Offering to cure cancer with homeopathic medicines, there's just no evidence behind it.
They have a right to say whatever they want to say, because most of the doctors even don't know what homeopathy is.
But why then can't anyone point to the research that proves it works? It's been around for a couple hundred years.
I just explained to you that I will definitely send you a literature on which you will find it out.
We're still waiting for that literature. We have, though, received many studies from other homeopaths, including one by a Nobel Prize winner. Ones they say explain how homeopathy works. But none of the experts we talked to agree the studies prove anything. And that Nobel Prize winner tells us he's done some work on high water dilutions of DNA fragments, but cannot extrapolate it to the products used in homeopathy. Despite all this, homeopathy is gaining credibility. The Ontario government's about to become the first jurisdiction in Canada to regulate the practice. To find out why, we head to the Ministry of Health and talk to Assistant Deputy Health Minister Joshua Tepper.
Why regulate something that hasn't been proven? In the eyes of the public, doesn't that give it legitimacy?
People are choosing to seek health care. People are voting with their feet, if you will.
But how are they going to be informed that homeopathy has no science behind it? That the remedies largely have no active ingredient? Is the Ontario government going to take out commercials that say, hey, we've regulated homeopathy, but there's no evidence that it works?
What's important for government is to make sure that when people are making choices, that it's done in a structure that's as safe as possible, that you're going to be treated professionally, that the environment that you're in is going to be safe, that the educational and knowledge and competencies is meeting a certain standard.
When we come back, just how did all these homeopathic medicines get approved for sale? And we've got a suggestion for the world's largest maker of these remedies.
We thought you might want to put this warning on your product.
We're investigating a multi-million-dollar industry in Canada, homeopathy, based on flawed science and some loopy thinking. One of the biggest sellers on the market, this product. The active ingredient's supposed to be the heart and liver of a duck. But guess what? It's been diluted so much, there's no active ingredient left.
Is that right?
In fact, I thought it was kind of an active ingredient.
I wouldn't buy this myself. I like to go to the drugstore and buy something with, drugs in it.
To me, it sounds like false advertising.
The makers of these remedies say that it's impossible to detect what's in there because it's been diluted a million times.
Yeah.
So when you actually get the remedies, there's no active ingredient left in there. Does that make sense?
Doesn't really make sense to me, no. I guess I would have to work for the company to have it make more sense to me.
As for Boiron, the #1 maker of these remedies, a recommendation.
After our test results, we thought you might want to put this warning on your product. Warning, this product contains no active ingredient.
This product does have an active ingredient.
We couldn't find it in a
Homeopathic
lab.
medicines do work. Continue looking for the right technology.
In the meantime, when someone goes to buy this off the shelf, maybe you want to put this warning on here. No active ingredient, because we couldn't find any.
I would suggest you take that up with Health Canada, since Health Canada has issued a drug identification number, homeopathic medicine, for the products.
Turns out, Health Canada doesn't test if a homeopathic product works or has any active ingredient. Instead, it relies on something called the Homeopathic Pharmacopoeia, a sort of recipe book of how to make remedies based on tradition and observation. So far, Health Canada has issued drug identification numbers to over 6,000 homeopathic medicines. And these skeptics, the overdose is a bust.
How are you feeling 45 minutes later?
Not the least bit poisoned, but ripped off. Health Canada is supposed to assure the public that what they're getting is safe, and it does what it says it can do, but it doesn't.
Their verdict? Homeopathy's an abuse of trust and a waste of money.
Medical waste, snake oil. Modern day snake oil.
You'd go so far as to say that?
Yep.
Oh,
yes.
yeah, totally.
Without question.
Maybe if there was actual snake oil in it, it'd do something.
A product they say is worse than bad medicine. It's no medicine at all. Next week on Marketplace, what's happening to some women on Canada's #1 birth control pill?
I had this intense pain. I actually started to cry in the doctor's office. I was horrified.
Promoted as a pill that does more.
Now there's a pill that goes beyond the rest.
But is it riskier than others?
Women want to know, and they have the right to know.
You got the worst cell phone bill in the country?
It's ridiculous. I'm spending way too much money.
I'm not a fan of cell phone bills in Canada. It's gold.
Bell was the worst last year.
Okay.
Maybe you'll be the winner this time.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Every Friday night, we've got your back. We're Marketplace.